A room that's accidentally frozen.
The time here seems to have stopped. Everybody's got the last look.
Before death.
Some people look suspicious, or some people want to run away.
There are people who look at their broken arm.
A man looking at the corner of the room, where there's a woman in yellow armor,
Holding a round ball.
sit cross-legged there.
When a man tries to touch you.
The woman suddenly opened her eyes. Immediately, the ice statues in the room all exploded. The last crack in the sphere closed completely.
With blue eyes. It glowed in a very devilish way.
Fast forward to modern times, when a young blonde walks into a store,
Buying old stuff.
selling the junk left behind by your grandmother for $50 for the shopkeeper. When the guy is excited about this, the shopkeeper picked up the ball in the box.
And observed attentively. And discovered the ancient text lines.
Turns out, this is no ordinary second-hand shop. It's a transit station.
Specializing in the purchase of psychic items.
The shop owner will use specialized equipment, used to measure the mental strength of items. This old woman always believed
Her late husband sent the soul into the wristwatch.
the device doesn't respond.
Obviously in the watch. There is no soul to send.
The assistant next to him raised his hammer to smash the clock, cut off the old woman's illusion, just broke this superstition.
There are still many people coming here every day. As the shopkeeper pointed the detector towards the sphere.
The soul intensity is immediately filled, and soon a stream of air starts to come out.
Finally succumbed to the pressure and exploded. Now the house starts to shake.
A thin layer of ice starts laying oil around the sphere.
And it's cold across the street to a building.
It's trying to break down that wall. I've never seen such strong spiritual power. The shop owner was stunned.
And this is the latest fantasy adventure movie 2024. It's called The Ghost Hunt Squad.
Era by price.
Many people after watching it, they all said it's a pretty cool movie. But do you really understand the whole plot or?
No more long lines of text. Just review cooking this movie. In New York, there's a mysterious organization called the Ghost Hunt Squad who deals with strange supernatural phenomena.
The team is one of the core members of the team.
This time their mission is to capture a water dragon from Helleskison.
A teammate pulls the lead.
Get the chair shot out of the car.
Behind her back,
The nuclear accelerator has simultaneously started. A string of photons
directly tie the tail of the water dragon,
this water dragon,
trying to get through the wall to get out of bondage.
but the father of cheese, use skillful driving skills, stay right behind.
Next,
Drones capture souls on the roof of cars.
be activated.
MON wearing glasses.
Control the drone to fly. After a bend, they've successfully put the water dragon in the capture kit. Everyone in the moment excitedly screamed. It almost caused a serious car accident.
Fortunately, Robertson managed to escape, just broke a line of public bicycles on the side of the road.
Every time you perform a task,
This ghost hunting team is responsible. No less damage to the city.
the mayor soon had a grudge against them.
When you see the cheese, it's just an immature girl. The mayor makes excuses,
Order forbidding you from participating in the ghost capture.
until the age of 18. This makes cheese.
You see catching ghosts as your mission.
It's very difficult to accept.
Return to main base.
When the whole family is preparing to take you,
Water dragon into storage space. I found it on the wall in the basement.
appeared a large crack.
They went to the woman with the glasses.
In charge of the apartment,
She said the crack was caused by insufficient storage space because this place is 45 years old and it hasn't been upgraded.
the woman wearing glasses said she'll find someone to handle it.
Then leave. Travel on the floor at the same time.
Ceiling detection.
Are dripping drops of green liquid.
Standing at the head of the bed, the guy gently puts his finger there.
It makes travel a little disgusting. Climb up the attic.
He sees it here, full of discarded items. A small mountain of snack packaging.
Attract the attention of travel. Kick the trash with your feet.
A sudden giant green head appeared before my eyes.
This wandering ghost is terrified. Open your mouth in fear. Rush towards you.
Fortunately, it doesn't mean to hurt people.
It just leaves a strange fluid on you. Travel through the wall, leaving the guy who worshipped about human life. The alarm at the base went off. There's a spooky event coming.
Cheesecake according to the habit of wearing combat clothes. Prepare for action, but she was stopped by her mother. Watch them drive away.
The cheese is a little disheartened.
She can only go to the chess part alone. When the cheese is done arranging the chessboard, prepare to play alone. The opposite pieces suddenly move automatically.
She looked around in surprise, but I didn't find anything. Try to continue playing her horse move.
The opposite flag also follows. Realize that your opponent is playing chess with you,
If you keep moving, the opposite horse also jumps.
but not much water.
When the opponent's position blockades her king, the human soul wrapped in green fire appeared in front of Fuba. She looked at the curly-haired girl in front of her without fear.
He even greeted me for the first time. The soul of this girl.
I have doubts about whether I am a ghost or not. And then they played a few more games.
Every time Phoebe loses miserably, just playing chess and talking. I don't know how many times I set the checkpoint. Melody suddenly disappeared. The next day, the engineer the woman in glasses invited. Start checking the storage space.
The sudden vibration.
It signals the commotion of the souls within. Right now, the previous member of the ghost hunting squad was Winston.
Tell people that, because the storage space accumulates too much energy.
Spirits, so this place has appeared a crack. Leads to another world, fortunately.
He planned ahead and built a new base. It's an aquarium on the outside.
But actually, there's all kinds of ghosts inside. There are falls like green chestnuts.
There's also a creature that's extremely dangerous, called the Red Worm Possessor.
This product, it can control any inanimate matter.
To do whatever it wants,
The lab isn't just researching new weapons,
but also build a large storage space.
more and more complete,
Buy, directly extract the soul from the items.
and use cotton chains to lock up.
They're putting new storage units. Now the store manager from the beginning of the video comes out. He was also a former member of the squad.
Ghost Hunter is also the grandfather of Fugit. All the psychic items here are provided by you. And this time what he brought was a golden ball, with excess energy. That night,
When the engineer and Winston
in progress,
extract the soul from psychic items, Lucky Girl also chose the golden sphere to proceed.
as soon as the engineer starts the machine to extract, at the same time, the soul is locked in a closet,
Frantically banging on glasses, as if to signal them not to do so.
the skull soul in another pane of glass.
He was also worried. The golden sphere began to shake violently.
Then inflate, and the electricity in the lab was suddenly cut off.
Clear sound waves emanating from the sphere, as soon as the measuring device on the wall turns of the knob.
Souls don't run away, but afraid to hide in the dark.
Lucky realized this and asked the engineer. The chair controlled by the occupier went mad.
Broke the glass door. The skull soul also appeared from the darkness.
It's slowly going through the cage.
At the right time, the engineer starts the backup power. The protein chains are restored, and these dumb things are tied up.
When the engineer's going to take the golden ball out,
You've been trapped by an invisible force. Frost also began to LAN up the arm.
make you scream in pain.
Fortunately, thanks to Newton's laws,
You manage to escape from the golden sphere. It's becoming unusually heavy.
the next day with an injured arm, the engineer showed it to everyone, the strange icy power of the golden sphere. Not only that,
He also discovered another possibility of this sphere. It can attract other souls.
when the whole group is amazed, this peculiar frost has started LANI on the photon chain.
In the corner of the room, the lights of the knob,
The possessor slips through the opening of the glass door.
and enter the 3 batches of my grandfather's assistant to understand the origin of the golden sphere. 3 even 2 others came.
The blonde sold it.
Nadine thought they were coming to pick up their things, so he didn't open the door. When you hear that the enemy is not coming to ask for money, this new blonde is excited to let them into the room.
And by the way, take them to my grandmother's gallery.
It's a secret room made of brass.
The walls are filled with ancient weapons.
There's even a pair of giant goat horns.
The engineer realized that this could very well be where KI's bizarre orb is sealed.
In ancient times,
Brass and gold.
it's the main material that keeps evil out. When using the meter to test the mental strength of the items around the equipment, it's discovered an unusual energy.
On Nail's body,
They're taking you back to the lab.
let Dr. Peter do the test.
He's also asking tough questions to deliberately make Nell angry to see if you're still human. The doctor noticed when Nadine was angry. The fire behind the guy burns furiously after repeatedly throwing pens at Nadine's face. The flames even tend towards you. But when the guy turns around,
The fire returned to normal. On the other side,
assistant took up the video that came back to the copper sphere.
even though the sound is broken,
But diffuse sound waves are still recorded,
my grandfather realized that it's an ancient language.
and an old friend of his was able to decipher it.
3 people come to the library,
Where the old friend recognized right away,
the language in the video is Feljord,
a language older than Sanskrit.
and then he took out a giant ancient book. It's about the origin of the golden sphere.
"4,000 years ago, Baraka with icy power. He once served a bloodthirsty king named Samurai,
The Garaka helped him conquer half the country.
but because of his great power,
It made the king feel uneasy,
finally Baraka was caught.
and the king gave orders to cut off the source of his power. Those are the giant horns on top. Baraka is determined to take revenge. He formed an army of undead and waging war against humanity, until the Baraka meets a caravan.
There's a man called the Master of Fire. This guy used fire
Gold and brass.
to imprison the evil Baraka in a sphere. That's the golden ball.
And then this old friend took out a box. The black cylinder in which the news is recorded.
History and key stories of the 19th century.
One of the scrolls is the song that's played when a group of explorers open the golden sphere.
When 3 people are listening to the song, the occupier suddenly appeared from the plot, plunge into the photograph and shoot out the black cylinder,
And then it goes into a garbage bag.
and quickly run out of the library.
EMO and her group chase to the outside, but completely lost track.
Now, the two old men were running slowly. My grandfather was complaining about, "The possessor is a skillful hidden master."
The old friend found a garbage bag placed on the stone lion statue. Grandfather tiptoed to get the black bag up there.
Then suddenly I felt sharp eyes watching. When he lifted his head, he saw that the lion had risen.
Phobi and Pocus also realized the situation on this side. The owner is now in complete control. The stone lion got a little closer to his grandfather. At the right time, the podcast activated the weapon on the motorcycle.
Phobi holds a gun to catch the ghost cutting of the stone lion's tail.
Suddenly, the lion began to move towards the cheese.
But when it's going to continue to attack,
the ghost gun suddenly broke down, so the lion jumped up.
The explosion destroyed the music box,
and the occupant also took this opportunity to escape. Damage this time
has created a reason for the market to continue to suppress.
Ghost hunting squad.
He ordered the seizure of all the team's weapons
and dismantled their base station.
Phoebe doesn't think it's wrong to capture ghosts, but at the same time, I realized that I accidentally created an opportunity for the mayor to order.
That night, she went to Melody
to talk about what happened to me
and said that he really wanted to experience.
It feels like a ghost. Encouraged by Melody,
Phoebe decided to go to the new lab. She's going to use an iodine splitter
to separate my soul.
Just control the time within 2 minutes. You're not in any danger. When the separator starts working, the soul of Phoebe has been successfully separated. She gladly looked at her friend.
My Melody.
I want to see her surprised face.
But Melody broke into tears and said something. Sorry for Phoebe. When she doesn't even understand.
Then the Phoebe's eyes suddenly disintegrated. Turns out,
Melody has always been a servant of the Ice Devil Garaka. She approached Phoebe just to wait for this moment, because it's only the human voice can open the seal of the golden sphere. Garaka can only control the soul,
but now
he can do it through the spirit of Phoebe, to control your body.
When the ancient mantras begin to ring,
the seal of the golden sphere is completely broken.
A cloud of blue and black fog immediately covered the entire room.
Moby also regained consciousness at that time. Next, a pair of blue eyes that glowed in the darkness appeared.
This moment, the frozen devil Garaka has completely awakened. He stared at Kobe and said,
"Stupid humans, it's time to show you
the sheer power of the Ice Age.
As long as the ice remains, we will always exist."
When the countdown is over, the soul of the embryo returns to the body.
Then Lucky suddenly appeared.
With Henri carton lots fully charged, the new ghost gun
output high-pressure energy rays
creates carton chains that easily detain souls.
However, for the icy devil Garaka, this toy doesn't work. Under his sheer cold,
the light is closed, the columns of ice
and bulb batch cartons stop working due to a sharp decrease in molecular activity.
The garage doesn't stop there.
It started looking for the descendant of the Fire Master
in the city, who can seal him up after freezing some unlucky lighter-setting victims. Garaka came to Nadim's house, where he discovered the horns. This is the most powerful power of the garage.
Now the frost is starting to spread across the city,
and the ghosts rejoice.
Welcome to the appearance of this devil. Phoebe was picked up by his parents
and gathered with everyone at the main base. When I heard that the Garaka demon had escaped the seal,
my grandfather knew that his next target will be this warehouse to recruit the imprisoned ghosts
and build an army of souls in that tense atmosphere. Focus formal.
Tell everyone about the next Fire Master
in front of everyone's curious eyes.
Nadin, showing off his extremely skillful fire dancing ability.
But obviously,
the ability of the guy.
You can't make people completely safe. Fortunately, at the moment,
engineers sent in the latest batch of photon weapons. They're much more reliable than Nalem. People dressed in combat gear, and Lucky said to Robinson, "PU cardboard does not seem to work with Garaka."
Phoebe also realized this,
but because copper can be sealed,
he can. If you put a layer of brass on the accelerator, it will be more effective, so she cut a chimney.
Use heat spray gun fused brass, and overlay the combat-ready parts.
Members of the ghost hunting squad, new and old, are ready,
waiting for the arrival of the Ice Devil Garaka.
The fog quickly enveloped the entire city. On the tree roof, and Lucky is patrolling. Pay attention to a child's bicycle,
slowly moving towards their base. Sodium is still practicing fire control right now.
He accidentally looked towards the combat armor
that my grandmother left behind. As the bike approaches the owner, enter the iron door, destroy it from the inside. Then he moved the object and got into the car. Car control, attack everyone. After causing chaos, he kept moving through the paper airplane.
On the second floor, Lucky,
who is protecting Nadim by reflex,
used a ghost gun to touch a paper airplane,
but accidentally let the possessor enter the weapon.
That the focus of the gun is on travel. Bar badge, start working, red light shining up.
Robinson rushed to push his son out.
but the light doesn't hurt you.
It's being diverted by Nadim. Turns out, he can't just control fire. It can also change the trajectory of the protein. At this time, Basket Lawai and smashed 3 batches of protein with a sledgehammer.
The owner tried to get into the pizza to escape
But a hungry ghost suddenly appeared.
and devour it. This side,
Latin was completely in touch with his own power.
just revealed.
The thunder echoed.
A dead road of ice gradually appears.
The ice devil Garaka has appeared. He slowly flew into the building.
Just swinging your hand is the door.
It's covered in ice crystals.
Garaka won't spare an AI. Among these people,
In theory, these petty creatures will panic and flee. But AI thinks these thinking ants want to fight back.
in the face of such mosquito-like attacks, he just breathed out a chill.
Make all weapons lose their effectiveness.
Garaka likes to look scared.
There is no human cure. But at this very moment, there was a loud rubbing of the air. It turns out that this Nadim god,
Wearing my grandmother's armor to fight.
it's hard to imagine that.
This god is the descendant of the Master of Fire, who sealed the Garaka.
It's said to be the devil's fire.
Garaka blows a vapor that breaks it. He doesn't want to keep teasing fools. This idiot has a strong cold.
It's freezing everyone. The devil started reading.
The spell was meant to open a trail of water that led to another world
A red light shooting up from the underground. Countless monsters from the slate-stone eye.
and start spreading LAN across the city. However, due to the long process of reciting the mantra at this time, the workpiece has covered all copper on 3 cartons. The lightning,
Now also carry the properties of copper, and it hit the devil Garaka.
not in time to prepare, be recalled. The door was interrupted. Carton light. This weapon is very powerful against the devil and his anger. Garaka blows out a cold vapor under absolute negative temperature.
3 cartons gradually lose capacity, and the embryo is covered in ice when the devil is frozen.
Prepare to draw out her soul. A lit match.
By melody.
After seeing the devil's destruction of the city, realize your mistake and immediately correct it.
Powerful fire led by Nerib.
Form a powerful fireball in your hand.
When the devil Garaka saw that and tried to stop,
I was blown away by the flames of Needham.
the heat of the explosion froze everyone. Wake up the workpiece, reopen the carton light shining on the garage. Under the influence of these 2 forces, the frozen devil can't move.
In the moment,
Okas has launched the drone. Want to arrest Garaka.
but the drone was smashed to pieces. Dr. Peter realized that to seal him, he needed one. The source is larger.
And if we can reverse this crack,
We'll be able to cast this evil out of the world.
human beings sound complicated and difficult.
But Grandpa, just press my button and pull the joystick as hard as you can.
The attraction is betrayed immediately, pulls the evil Garaka. They can easily destroy the world. Into the crack. Finally, my grandfather didn't forget to close the door.
So on the occasion of the Lunar New Year, Ghost Hunting Squad, after going through a fierce battle,
Has received a standing ovation.
from all the people,
They surrounded the headquarters door furiously. The mayor has just arrived. At first, he was going to arrest everyone, but with the support of the crowd,
you have to change your words.
reluctant smiling,
Not just acknowledge the squad's important position.
but also allow workpiece, people who are not old enough to participate in the next task.
Here's a summary video of the Ghost Hunting Squad. His Frozen era.